The future is approaching faster than you think. Thus, the rising technologies are the transformers of future tech. If the last 30 years are any indication, then new inventions are on its way to change the world by 2050. In retrospect, everything appears so apparent, but we didn't realize it at the time. But will the globe seem the same in 2050 as it does today? What does the future hold for AI, climate change, metaverse, and bionic eyes? Join us as we go over the most important list of future technological upheavals and transitions over the next few decades. This is the year 2050. Artificial intelligence. No good science fiction novel is complete without a scary AI that has been overwhelmed. Artificial intelligence is already changing our world. It is only the beginning. In the year 2050, AI will have the largest effect on future change and is the future of technology. Billions of dollars are invested by major tech companies in the project, and a big number of full-time employees are assigned to them. By 2050, artificial intelligence may have transformed every facet of our life. Complex learning algorithms might be used by doctors to diagnose patients with amazing precision. Although AI will treat and in many cases cure neurological illnesses such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, as well as most birth abnormalities and spinal cord injuries, as well as blindness and deafness. Robotic prostheses might be stronger and more advanced than our own biological ones by 2050, and they will be directed by our brains. Neither will it be the end. We may be in the realm of home quantum computing by 2050. As our computer frame of reference, we are in the era of bits and bytes. Quantum computing is the way of the future. All computations occur concurrently. Searching enormous datasets, which will still be fascinating in 2050, will be possible only with quantum computing. By 2050, quantum computing might bring in a whole new wave of significant technological businesses. Elon Musk's Neuralink is already creating novel methods to integrate the brain and computers. It may not sound so weird after all. Transport revolution. One of the most significant changes in our everyday life will be in transportation. By 2050, the world's population will have reached 10 billion. How can inclusive and sustainable mobility be ensured? Surely, we can almost anticipate electric or hydrogen automobiles to be common by 2050, with many countries prohibiting the use of fossil fuel vehicles in the coming decades. Tesla is already making a splash, but by 2025, electric vehicles will take over traditional vehicles. Self-driving cars led by Tesla are more practical. Today's technology includes General Motors Super Cruise, which controls the vehicle on long highway stretches when there isn't much going on. There is BMW's Traffic Jam Assistant, which moves cars through congested traffic like a school of fish. There's also Road Train, in which a single vehicle driven by a professional leads a platoon of vehicles. This will serve as a bridge to 2050, when we should have reached level 6, which would imply fully autonomous vehicles. Changes in transportation will not be limited to land. Drones will replace much of today's retail as urban transportation and floating warehouses deliver packages supported by pickup centers in population centers. The Hyperverse. The metaverse is all about simulation and is the most significant future of technology. Avatars will be as commonplace in 2050 as cell phones are today. As the metaverse function develops, it will be extraordinary by today's standards by 2050. We will be able to virtually travel the world and numerous custom planets from the comfort of our own homes. Who will be able to devote time to the metaverse? Work is up next. Mars has a permanent team of scientists and robotics engineers by 2050. The majority of this effort is being led by SpaceX. Also arriving are the first civilian tourists. Sales of intellectual property rights on Earth, mining for valuable metals on Mars, and ongoing mining of asteroids in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter all contribute to the profitability of Mars colonization. The amount of money that corporations can make from space mining is in the trillions, and the minerals in these asteroids contain mineral wealth worth approximately $100 billion for every person on Earth. Bionic eyes. Artificial retinas and other visual prostheses will be able to match the visual quality of a human eye by 2050. They have full-color electrode arrays with hundreds of megapixels and wireless capabilities. These enhanced devices are commonplace among spy agencies, militaries, and high-profile citizens. However, they are becoming affordable to the general public as well. Virtual Assistant. Most people on Earth will have access to a ubiquitous virtual assistant well before 2050. The same virtual assistant can exist as an augmented reality hologram, a virtual reality character, and a household robot. The same virtual assistant can also be accessed via voice in future technology products, such as a smart home, a vehicle, a smartwatch, or a smartphone. Thus, search engines have been largely replaced by virtual assistants. Language models like GPT-3 are now exponentially more advanced, and virtual assistants are built on these platforms. These virtual assistants have been trained on text data from the vast majority of websites and publications created throughout history. As a result, they can almost always answer our questions, and their responses are tailored to our objectives, interests, and career paths. We can also customize this virtual assistant's personalities, appearances, voices, and special abilities. Artificial general intelligence will take this technology to a new level in the coming decades. Light-based computer chips. Light-based computer chips have become commonplace. In the year 2050, the vast majority of computer processors, storage devices, memory chips, graphics cards, and motherboards will use a combination of light and electricity to optimize performance in specific scenarios. Light-based computer chips in the future of technology have the primary advantage of being faster and more efficient for certain AI calculations. Furthermore, unlike 3 decades ago, these chips can permanently store memory and data. Energy cost. By the early 2040s, solar and wind will power much of the developed world and some developing countries. Clean energy investment in the state's policy scenario exceeds $2 trillion by 2030. It would need to exceed $4 trillion by the same date in the net zero emissions by 2050 scenario, highlighting the importance of attracting new investors to the energy sector. Supergrids on a continental scale are also emerging. These supergrids enable nations to share excess clean energy from abundant sources and distribute it to the most vulnerable areas. Another advantage of all of this is that using clean energy sources eliminates more than half of all greenhouse gas emissions, which are by far the leading cause of climate change. Smart cities. Some areas are seeing the rise of smart cities on its way, having a list of future technologies in it. Therefore, in some regions, only a small percentage of cities will be smart cities by 2050. These smart cities link on-the-road vehicles to a centralized network that tracks the locations in real time. Terabytes of data are received by these networks from a vast array of sources, including road sensors, traffic lights, and so on. These sources provide data such as the number of cars on the road blockages, weather patterns, the state of emergency services, and other information. Long-term investments of $551 per year are required in Europe to achieve a climate-neutral economy by 2050. Manual parking is a thing of the past for owners of self-driving cars. Autonomous vehicles can be programmed to pick up their owners and then search for the cheapest available parking spaces in a city. Vehicles return to pick up their owners at a predetermined time. And autonomous vehicle sharing has grown into a thriving industry, disrupting companies such as Uber and Lyft. 2 space elevators. There are now 2 space elevators. 2 space elevators, the future technology products, the largest engineering projects ever undertaken, were built in 2050. More than 3 decades ago, China and the Obayashi Corp, a global construction firm based in Tokyo, Japan, committed to building their own space elevators. And that vision has now come true. Institutions frequently use the space elevators to deliver cargo into space and return cargo to Earth. They can also transport astronauts and tourists to low Earth orbit space stations. Each space elevator cost nearly $10 billion to construct. However, after only a few payloads, they made this money back in savings. This is due to the fact that using space elevators to transport cargo costs less than 1% of the cost of using rockets. Technology based on blockchain. A blockchain is a distributed database that enables multiple parties to access and validate data in real time. Blockchain technology like electricity, the internet, and artificial intelligence has become a pillar of society. Blockchain technology is at the heart of cryptocurrency. The average person will use cryptocurrencies on a regular basis in 2050. Blockchain technology is used primarily for data transfers between Earth and Mars. investors on Earth can acquire a stake in a Mars water production facility. Blockchain technology is assisting in the fight against deep counterfeits. As a result, any photo or video uploaded to a reputable website source must be blockchain authenticated. Though, due to significant advancements in technology of future, the world will look drastically different by 2050. But what are your thoughts? What will the world look like in the year 2050? Will we eventually live in a technological utopia? Or will new technologies and innovations create more problems rather than fewer? Please let us know in the comment section below. Till then, keep an eye out for the next video.